Hello and welcome students. Welcome to you student. So today we're gonna start with this English class basically for the preparation of the CUET exam. Now today we will start with vocabulary. The thing is that in this particular exam we have seen questions related to different types of words. So we need to just get familiar with new types of words so that our possibility of giving the right answers increases. Now before that, we were studying the class, I would like to tell you that in vocabulary it's basically an ocean. So we have to understand this as well, that it is not possible for any student to understand or to know every possible word of the English language. Okay, but what we can do is that we can study what type of questions actually come in this particular examination and what kind of words should we try and know. Yes, there can obviously be questions that will be a bit offbeat, that can be difficult for us to answer or even understand. But what we can do is that if we practice enough words, the possibility of answering in the examination increases. So I have brought a few words that is going to be very important for this examination. So we will begin with this class. I am Shukriya Bose. So let's begin the class. Come on. First, clinch. Now what is the meaning of this word clinch? You see, clinching victory. Okay, say Kolkata Knight Riders clinched victory. Now, what is the meaning of this word clinch? You see, meaning is to make certain or to finalize. Okay, clinching victory means to finalizing victory. All right. So this is to clinch victory, or the meaning of the word clinch. And then we talk about this word shimmering. Now, shimmering is basically an adjective. The thing is that we say that this particular golden ornament is shimmering in light, or we can say that due to the reflection the water seems to shimmer. Now what is the meaning of this word shimmering? You see, it means glim or glimmer. Now gleam or glimmer basically means whenever something reflects light. Okay, it shines and reflects light, and that kind of a glossy kind of visual, that is called glimmer. Now we talk about dole. This word possibly is a bit difficult, right? Dole, this word, maybe you have not heard of this word before. So meaning of this is money or goods that are given as charity. Okay, many of us, though, we like to give the poor people money, beggars the money. Now what is that called? That is dole. Alright, so moving on. Now we will talk about this particular word, splinter. Meaning is to break or cause to break into fractions. Okay, whenever things break, that is called splinter. Moving on, feverish. Okay, this is a very, very important word. This comes in many other competitive exams as well. In this examination also, this word is very, very important. It means filled with excess amount of energy. You see, now you students obviously can relate this with yourselves. Right now in this particular time of our life, we are very much filled with energy. We like to chase our dreams, crack examinations, and be the person that we think that we can be, and we also trust that you can be that person as well. So from where does this energy come from? What is the meaning of this thing? Feverish means filled with energy. So you students are obviously feverish, filled with energy, filled with the zeal to achieve something. So being filled with energy means feverish. Now, subterranean. Okay, this word is also very important. Now what does this word mean? You see, it means below the ground, under the earth, or underground. Okay, anything that is below the ground. Now, while we talk about subterranean, we have to say the meaning of this word, terrain. Okay, how is the terrain? Okay, how is the ground? Okay, so when we talk about something subterranean, that means under the ground. Clear? So subterranean means under the ground. Now, Exonerate. Now, what is the meaning of this word exonerate? To relieve of a load or to unburden. So, many a times you will find people say that I exonerate you. Okay. Now, what does this word mean? Human beings can be burdened with many things. Okay. Responsibilities, doubts, even fears. Fear can be a burden to you. Now, being relieved of some burden is exoneration. So this is exonerate. It's a verb, very important. Please write it down in your copy. Alacrity. Now, what this word means? You see, this word is also a very important word. So among these words, most of them are extremely important. So please write this word as well, alacrity. So what does it mean? This means eagerness, liveliness. So when you are eager to do something, okay, something you are passionate about, you're eager to, for example, someone is very eager to play cricket, perhaps. Okay, so this means alacrity, enthusiasm to perform something, to do something, to do a particular thing in your life. That is called alacrity. Now, abdication. What is this meaning? What does this mean? So, when I personally came across this word for the first time in my life, I was reading a history book, basically. So the thing is that I was reading about the Tsar Nicholas II of Russia. Okay, he had to abdicate his throne during the time of the Russian Revolution. Now, why am I talking about this? Why am I giving you this history lesson in this English class? You see, abdicating goes with abdicating the throne or renouncing the throne. Okay, so the thing is that any king or an emperor, okay, who renounces his throne by which he no longer remains a king, that is called abdication. Abdication can not only happen in the regal point of view, it can also happen in having any office of high dignity. Okay, for example, you consider yourself a valuable minister or something like that, a person of power, a person who holds the administrative rights. Even that person, if that person says that I no longer want to be in this position, okay, that is called abdication. Clear? So the act of abdicating or renunciating anything that is valuable, a post which is valuable, is called abdication. So the renunciation of a high office of dignity. Now, axiomatic. Now, what does this word mean? Very important. So it means that evident without proof or argument. Okay. So anything which is very much evident without any proof or argument is called axiomatic. Clear? So we go to the next word, blatant. That's a blatant lie. We hear people say this many times, right? He is lying. That's a blatant lie. Now, what does this word blatant mean? Now, it happens while we read books. Sometimes when we don't know the previous word, what we try to do is that we go on reading. Perhaps the next word give us a hint what the previous word might tell us. Okay, what does the previous word might mean? But I would like to give you the advice. I know you're reading something, a newspaper or a book in English to improve your vocabulary. So I would like to I would like to advise you that whenever you come across a word that you don't know the meaning of, please go ahead and consult the dictionary. These days what happens is that we have an access to the internet, and it's very easy to know the meanings of several words. So what is the meaning of this particular word, blatant? Blatant means bellowing, disagreeably clamorous, sounding loudly and harshly. So this is something which is the meaning of the word blatant. So something which is disagreeable, which is loud and harsh, and we normally use it before the word lying. So then we have the word terse. Okay, it's an adjective. Okay, so it means brief, concise, to the point. Okay, so whenever we say that be terse, okay, that means that come to the point. There are many people out there who, while giving speeches, we see, they take quite a long time to come to the actual point which they want to talk about. So they, speaking on things which is not related to the particular topic. They have a long introduction and then they talk about here and there a bit. Then they actually come to the point where it really matters. At that time, most of the audience has gone to sleep. So, a person who is a good speaker has to speak on point. And if you're writing as well, if you want to be a good writer, then you have to be on point. You have to write things that is brief, that is on point and concise. So you have to be terse. Moving on. Repine, meaning is to fail or wane. Okay, to fail on a particular thing. That means repine. Then we have the word fervor, not favor, fervor. So what does it mean? A passionate enthusiasm of some cause. Okay, so what do you want to be in your life? A question that many of your elders ask. Right. The thing is that they try to understand what is your fervor. Okay, what you want to be, what are you passionate about? Now, moving on. So, we have come to the next part of this class today. Okay, the next part here, we are going to talk about this particular word, side. Now, what does this word side means? It means to kill, killing. Okay. Now, while reading books, while coming across several literary pieces, we have come across words like homicide, sororicide, regicide, fratricide. Now, what does these words actually mean? So, whenever we have this word side in any word in the suffix, we clearly understand that it means to kill something. Now, what does it kill? The prefix actually tells me what does this word kill. So, here it is. If we talk about suicide, okay, so here it is, suicide, it means killing your own self. That is called suicide. A very common word, most of you, if not all of you, know about this word. So, killing of self-murder is called suicide. Next here we have killing of a race or community. Whenever we hear about this particular word, only one name comes in front of our mind with a butterfly beard, that is our Adolf Hitler, of course. So, what he did, what his heinous crime was, he killed so many Jews and Gypsies and even people who were differently abled in his concentration camps. Now, what is it called? Okay, completely exterminating the Jews. Now, what does this word call? It's called genocide. Destroying a particular community, a particular religious community, linguistic community, ethnicity, you name it. So, to destroy a particular community, to kill people of a particular community, that is called genocide. Very heinous crime which has been committed by many dictators in the past. Moving on. Killing of a king. What is this act called? This act is called regicide. Okay. So, assassinations, royal assassinations, killing of kings, that has happened before as well. That is called regicide. Now, this problem, infanticide. This word especially we have come across many times in our newspapers. Right? In a country where we have this gender bias, most of the times, we have seen girl childs being killed, female infanticide. So, killing infant baby, newborn baby, is called infanticide. Okay? Infant, we all know the meaning of the word infant. Okay, someone who is, just a baby. Okay? That is being an infant. And then we have this word side, means killing a baby, infanticide. Now, a newborn baby is called infant, and killing him or her is called infanticide. Moving on. Now, killing of one's sister. Okay, so if somebody kills someone, his own sister or her own sister, that is called sororicide. Okay. Now we come to a very popular word, homicide. Okay, we being fans of so many series in Netflix and Prime, we have come across this particular word many a times, homicide. Okay, what does it mean? Okay, killing of a human being is called homicide. The normal word which we use called murder, murdering someone, that is called homicide. Now, what is this? Killing of one's own wife. Okay, so it's called soricide. Okay, if somebody kills his own wife, it's called soricide. Then we have this word, killing of either or both parents. It is parricide. Okay, so the next word here is killing of one's brother. It's called fratricide. Then we have the killing of one's father. It's patricide. Killing of one's mother, matricide, and killing of one's husband is matricide. There's a difference. Okay, very important to understand. Moving on. Then we have this word omni. Okay, now what this word omni means, we have to understand this as well. So omnipresent, omnipotent. Okay, these have been the words that we have come across many a times. Now, these words are also important in the examination point of view. Here we have it, one who is all-powerful, the omnipotent being. We mainly use this word to describe the Almighty, the one who is sitting on his golden throne over there in the heaven, the God. So here we often call him the omnipotent person, or the omnipotent being. So the one who is all-powerful is omnipotent. Now, the one who is present everywhere, again, we use this word to describe God. We normally say that He is present everywhere. Whatever you're doing, your sins, your virtues are all judged and scrutinized every single day, every single hour by this Almighty who knows everything, who is everywhere, and He has seen everything. So that is omnipresent, being everywhere at the same time. Clear? Then, one who knows everything. Okay, one who knows everything. He is called omniscient. Now, there are many of us, not many of us, I would say there are a few of us in our group of friends, group of neighbors, whatever you call. There is someone at least who considers himself omnipresent. Okay, omniscient. Now, the thing is that, what does this mean? Okay, someone who knows everything is called omniscient. Okay, who, now this particular word is not a very practical word. No one can know everything. So omniscient is also, if truly said, is God Himself. But if anyone tells you he knows everything or she knows everything, then he or she considers himself or herself omniscient. Here we go, the next one. Now we are going to talk about the use of this word, able. Okay. Now what does mean, what this word, this particular thing means, able? That is able to be. Now, could you hear that? No. So, a sound that cannot be heard is called inaudible. Okay? Just like that. The thing is that many times when we cannot hear something, okay, hello, I can't hear you, your sound is inaudible. That means that I cannot hear what you are saying. Repeat, please. So, being inaudible means you cannot hear a particular thing, or you cannot hear the sound, basically. That is inaudible. So, if whatever I am saying, you cannot hear it, then I am inaudible. Okay? Then we have this word that cannot be easily approached. Okay? There are many people, people who are at the place of power. Okay? It's very difficult for us to approach them, right? And meeting them is a very, very difficult job. So these people who are in the position of power, the helm of fame, you cannot really call them and tell us, hello sir, can we meet? Can we just meet on this particular day? It is very difficult to meet them or interact with them. So they are inaccessible. sometimes even people in our groups or in our family also, sometimes they come into certain situations that they stop meeting other people. That is also when we say that, yeah, what happened? You are so inaccessible these days. That means it is becoming so difficult for us to approach or meet you. Okay, so that is being inaccessible, someone who is very difficult to meet with. Then, incapable of being corrected. Okay, there are few people who has gone beyond the realm of correction, who has become so bad that they couldn't even be corrected. So that kind of people are incorrigible. Then we have incapable of being repaired. Okay, your particular bicycle, think about it. You have been using it for so many years, but you have never ever thought about taking care of your bicycle. So at a particular point, it is irreparable. I mean, it's common sense. How long is a particular machine going to give you service if you don't take care of the particular machine? It happens to not only bicycles, cars, it happens to bikes, it happens to many things that you don't take care of. So if you don't want your bicycles, cars and bikes to be irreparable, please take care of them at least once in a month. Next, incapable of being read. It's a problem. Being a teacher, I have found it in many students' handwriting. Okay, I don't know what they have written. It is very, very difficult. Some writing even resembles to be the Greek alphabet's hieroglyphics. It was a joke though. Now the thing is that, so what do we possibly call these texts that we cannot possibly comprehend or read? That means illegible, something that you cannot read. Moving on. Incapable of being avoided. I am inevitable, right? And I am Iron Man. The thing is that anything that cannot be avoided. Okay, what Thanos kind of thought about the future of the world, that he is going to destroy half of the population and no one would be able to stop him. Okay, the consequences are inevitable. If you consider, somebody says that this is going to happen, that is inevitable. So any situation that cannot be avoided, no matter how much you try, that is going to happen. Okay, for example, this is 2022. After this, 2023 is going to come and it is not avoidable. So that is inevitable. Now, one too strong to be overcome, that means invincible. Thinking about the 2003 Australian team. You see, at that time, the Australian team was invincible. Okay, or you can say that someone who cannot be defeated no matter how hard you try. Okay, so that is invincible. Now, that cannot be erased. The ink, okay, indelible ink, which is given in your finger after you vote, okay, that is indelible. Now, one who does not tire easily, okay, that is called indefatigable. Okay, fatigue, we have come across this word as well, fatigue. Now, what does the word fatigue means? Fatigue means getting tired of something. Okay, continuously working, you're running for a long time, and after that what happens? Right? You say that we can't, run anymore. Muscles are cramping, I'm very, very tired. So that is called fatigue. So here is that one who does not tire easily, that is called indefatigable. Now, one who is free from all mistakes and failures is called infallible. Someone who cannot make any mistakes, okay, or at least thinks himself to be someone who cannot commit any mistakes, are called infallible. Okay, so if you think of yourself that you cannot make mistakes, first of all, I would advise you to Really think about yourself. But the thing is that, what is the meaning of this word? What is the meaning of this word? That I cannot make mistakes. So what am I? I am infallible, right? Now, crazy, very important. You have come across this word. Words that have this word in the suffix crazy. Now, what does it mean? It means government or rule. The country in which we live in is a democracy, right? Is a rule of the people, for the people, and by the people. So, a government of the people is called democracy. Very familiar with, we are very familiar with this word. We live in a country which is an absolute democracy. Then we have a government that is, ruled by a king or a queen. A government by a king or a queen. That is what? It is called a monarchy. Okay. Britain is a monarchy. At least it's a constitutional monarchy. So we have Queen Elizabeth at the helm, and she kind of rules the country. Okay. So that is monarchy, obviously with the support of the constitution and the parliament. So Queen Elizabeth is a monarchy. She's a constitutional monarchy, but she is a monarch nonetheless. Then we have a government by the officials. Okay, a government where all the officials are basically influencing all the decisions that are going to happen in this government. That is called a bureaucracy. Okay. Then a government by the rich. Okay, kind of a dystopian government that we can possibly think about. So, what does this government mean actually? It means a government where all the rich has the power, who is ruling the country. Okay, so that is called a plutocracy. Then we have a government by few. Okay, so that is called oligarchy. Okay, a government of the few. Russia has lots of oligarchs. So, well, it is not an oligarchy, but it has oligarchs. So that is called oligarchy. Then a government by the nobles. Okay, a government. The medieval government. If you think about the medieval world, what type of a government did they have? Okay, they used to have a government which was very much influenced by aristocrats, okay, by the nobles. So this is an aristocracy. So now we have phrases and meanings. A few more words comes to my mind. First of all, we can talk about autocracy. Now, what is autocracy? Autocracy means when one particular person is calling the shots. Okay, he or she is deciding the fate of the government. That is called autocracy. Okay, please write that as well, along with crises. Okay. Now we have a phrase and meanings. Okay. Again, we come across this particular word which we had, seen before. Abdication. Okay. When you renounce your throne, abdicate your throne, that is called abdication. So this is abdication. Then we have an annual calendar containing important dates and statistical information such as astronomical data and tide tables. Now, what is that calendar called? It is called an almanac. Okay. So here we are for the next one. A cold-blooded vertebrate animal that is born in water and breathes with gills. So this particular animal has two phases of their life. One is completely it has to have in the water. Okay, talking about frogs. Okay, so these are the animals that has a particular part of their life in the water and a particular part of their life in the land. So while they are living in the water, in that particular part of their life, that is when they have gills. Then when they become an animal which is, or they get transformed to living in the land. Okay, so this animal is called amphibian. We are very much familiar with this word. We have learned it since our school days, right? So the next one. A story, poem or picture that can be interpreted to reveal a hidden meaning, typically a moral or a political one. We have come across many stories that has a hidden meaning. Okay, a metaphor. It has a meaning that an inside meaning. Okay, a hidden meaning that you can understand while you read between the lines. So that is called allegory. Then, a statement or proposition in which an abstractly defined structure is based. This is axiom. Then, a nation or person engaged in war or conflict as recognized by international law. Now, what is that nation? In which state is that nation in? The nation is belligerent. Okay. So here we are for the next particular one, the next particular word. An examination of tissue removed from a body to discover the presence, cause, or extent of a disease. We have seen this many times. Okay. The doctors do it. Okay. This is called biopsy. Okay. So this particular word is very important. Then we have the action or offense of speaking sacrilegiously about God or sacred things. This is called blasphemy. Now, sacrilege is also the word that we have come across. Please note, sacrilegiously. Okay. What does this mean? Sacrilegiously. Okay, sacrilegiously. So it means that when you are speaking of something which is basically you are insulting God, that is, speaking sacrilegiously about God. So this is called profane talk, and this is called blasphemy. Blasphemy used to be a very heinous crime during the medieval times, and even it is a kind of a crime in many parts of the country. Not many parts of the country, pardon my language. It is still a crime in Pakistan as well. Okay. In many parts of the world, basically. So the arrangement of evidence, the arrangement of events or dates in order to their occurrence is called chronology. For example, if we talk about the life of a particular person, a well-known person, we are analyzing his life from his birth to his death, and all the success stories, and we talk about when he, in which school he has gone. For example, let's talk about Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, if you talk about Mahatma Gandhi, when was he born? Okay, he was born in 1869. When he came to India, in the year 1915. Then we talk about all his movements one by one, and then when he die. So if we talk about his life in a date wise, that is called chronology. Okay, that is called chronology. So here, phrase and meanings. A vigorous campaign for political, social and religious change. Crusade, a part of history that we well know, okay? The time when it was a bloodbath where wars continuously happened between the Christians and the Muslims in the history of the world at that time. Now, what is the meaning of this word, crusade? A vigorous campaign for political, social, or religious change. So this is called crusade. Now, lasting for a very short time. Say, somebody says that my good times were ephemeral. Now, what does this mean? That it is lasting for a very short time. We think this, that whenever we feel the time, holidays. Okay, we love holidays, but holidays are ephemeral. At least it seems to us to be ephemeral. That means it is lasting for a very short time. So that is ephemeral. Then we have spoken or done without preparation. For example, some of you have have achieved quite a lot of things, and now you have to speak a lot. You are, asked to go to different institutes to give a speech or press conferences, and every time it's not possible for you to prepare a detailed note on what you're going to speak about. So what are you going to do at that point? Suddenly a reporter comes and you need to talk about a particular thing. At that time you have no preparation. You just have to speak your mind. That is called extempore. Clear? Now, release someone from a duty or obligation, exonerate. Say the boss of your company or the company of anyone you know about. Say a boss is exonerating an employee of his or her duty. That means that the boss is relieving a person, an employee, from his or her duty. That is called exoneration. Fund company. Think about the company of you and your friends. You really love it, right? At that point of time, you speak a lot about sports and politics, sometimes movies, relationship status. So, all these things you love. You love your friends' company. You love to play with them. You love to talk with them. What is that? That is gregarious. Okay? Then the next one, making marks that cannot be removed. That is indelible. Okay, so any mark that cannot be removed is called indelible. We have come across this word before as well. Now, incapable of making mistakes. Again, this word is being repeated. We have come across this word before as well. Someone who cannot commit mistakes. That is infallible. Now, certain to happen. Again, a repetition. Why am I repeating these words? So that with a repetition you can also have a quick revision of what we have learned. We are quite at the time when we are going to end the session. So let's talk about things that we have learned before as well. So with these small revisions, we can solidify what we have actually learned. So inevitable means certain to happen, things that is going to happen. Okay, and no one can stop that. That is inevitable. Now, nostalgia. Many of us are extremely nostalgic. Not many of us, I guess every one of us are nostalgic. We love to go back to those places that has given us happy memories. Right, the primary school where we used to study, right, when we passed the school building, many memories comes to our mind, many fond memories, right? We used to come holding the fingers of our parents, then what? We have played so many games with our friends, and these things give us nostalgia, okay, happy memories of the past. So this is happy memories, a sentimental longing or wishful attraction of a period in the past. Sometimes we even feel like that perhaps if those childhood days could ever come back, those beautiful, colorful days could ever come back, and those teachers that we have, those teachers who had taken our classes when we were in class 1, 2, 3, 4, those days, okay, many of us pride ourselves to be the 90s kids, those TV shows, okay, those movies, even Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man, the Spider-Man that has released very recently. In that we have seen Tobey Maguire come back, Andrew Garfield come back, and it made us nostalgic, really. So this is nostalgia, okay, and a wishful affection for the period of the past. Now, a solution or a remedy of all difficulties or diseases. Okay, so that is called panacea. Okay, a solution of the difficulties and diseases. This is panacea. Then we have a doctrine which identifies God with the universe. That is pantheism. Pantheism. So it is a doctrine that says that God and universe, is kind of the same thing. God is everywhere. He is someone who is ruling the universe. That's panacea. That's pantheism. Sorry. Now, excessive concern with minor details or rules. So there are, many of us who are perfectionists to the ultimate level, and they're exceptionally concerned to the minute details of everything. So most of the times, whenever they make things done, those his or her work, those who believe in this type of thing, their works are impeccable. Now what does this word mean, impeccable? Impeccable means that has no fault, that is, picture perfect, impeccable, the words are impeccable. So these type of things, who like to do things, who like to, make things best to the minute details, and rules, who take care of the minor details and rules, these are the pedantic person. Now, the practice of taking someone else's work or ideas and passing them off as one's own, that is not cool. So, if you are taking somebody else's ideas and passing it as your own, that is called plagiarism. So, don't do it, okay? If you have your own idea, please stick to your own idea and don't steal other people's ideas, and that's very wrong. So, that's plagiarism. Now, safe to drink. So, is the water safe to drink? Is the water potable? So, whenever we think about something, is it safe to drink this? Is it, after drinking it, am I going to be affected by any disease or not? Okay, so we are very concerned about our health, so we are very concerned about what we drink or eat. In this case, if something is safe to drink, that is called potable. Not portable, it's potable, mind it. Now, the emblems or insignia of royalty is called regalia. For example, if you talk about the British royalty, their emblem is the 3 lions. Okay, so it's the regalia. Once upon a time, for the Empire of France, it was the fleur-de-lis, the lotus. That was the regalia. So anything that symbolizes the regality or the royalty of the particular kingdom or an empire, that is the regalia. Then violation or misuse of what is regarded as sacred. Sorry for my pronunciation. That is called sacrilege. So we came across this word as well while we were talking about blasphemy, right? When we talked about blasphemy, we came across this word sacrilege. That means when you are insulting or violating, misusing something which is holy, right? Sacred. That is called sacrilege. Clear? So I guess you have all written down these words. These are very, very important for your examination. Now moving on to the next few words. Here we are. A position requiring little or no work but giving the holder status and financial benefit. Now who doesn't dream to be in this particular position? Think about it. No work, very little work, but you are given what? Status? Financial benefit? Now, who doesn't want to be in this particular position? So, a person who is lucky enough to be in this particular position is called sinecure. Clear? Then, a thing that is kept as a reminder of a person, place or event. Well, for memories, we have many people in our lives, right? Who leaves us, right? That's life, after all. But we try to stick to something that they have given us. Okay, that is a memento that makes us remember about that person, or the beautiful moments that we have had with that person. Yeah, students, I understand your pain. The thing is that these things are called souvenirs. Okay? Now, an imaginary ideal society free of poverty and suffering. Many writers have dreamt of a society, not only writers but philosophers as well, have dreamt of an ideal society where there is no poverty, no grief, no suffering. It's a kind of a society that matches itself with heaven. Now we know that those kind of thoughts are not practical, but we like to think about it at least, right? So this type of society is called an utopia. Now just the opposite of utopia. Now what is the opposite word for utopia, where there is filled with suffering. Okay, filled with suffering, filled with things that is very bad. Okay, a thought of a society where everything will come to its doom. That type of society is the opposite of the society that we are talking about, and that type of society also has a name, and that is dystopia. Clear? Now, denoting a sin that is not regarded as depriving the soul of divine grace. This is called venial. Okay, so this is also very important. Please write it down in your notebooks. Moving on, in exactly the same words as were used originally. So if you are trying to express something in exactly the same words by which it was used before as well, by someone else. Now, what is that? It's called verbatim. What is it called? It's called verbatim. So, students, I hope these words have been useful for you, and I wish these are the words that help you a lot while you give answers to the question. At least a few of these words come common in your question papers. So more or less the class ends here, but your journey doesn't. Okay, your journey with me also doesn't. We are going to come again with more classes on this particular subject, English. And the thing is that how can you work on your vocabulary even better? I would give you a few advices. You see, you can read newspapers, you read storybooks, novels, go through dictionaries, and write down the new words that you have come across whose meanings you don't know in a particular notebook, and then only your vocabulary can be better. Okay, so with this word I would like to thank you all of you, and I would like to say goodbye to all of you. It was very nice exactly to meet all of you. Thank you. Bye bye.